Welcome back to Celeb Glow, the channel where we dive into the rumors Hollywood hopes you'll ignore, but we dig them up anyway. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because today's story is one of the wildest, longest running whispers in the industry, and it just exploded back into the spotlight. Let's get into it. Before we start, subscribe, like, and stay tuned. Big story ahead. This rumor just won't stay buried. No matter how many years pass, no matter how many times people try to move on, is enriching me. You know what I mean? Like through different things, through marriage, through having my son 1 week and losing my mom the next week. So it's just like, it's so many different things that have shaped me, and I'm just going through it. And I can't just keep that kind of stuff to myself. I feel like it's worth sharing, and I want to share it, and I want to be honest, and you know what I mean? It crawls right back out of the shadows, louder, messier, and more confusing than before. For almost a decade now, fans have been dissecting the same jaw-dropping claim that Jay-Z might secretly be the father of Kelly Rowland's son, Titan. Yeah, that rumor. It's one of those stories that refuses to die. It started as quiet whispers on forums, then grew into a late-night Twitter threads, and now it's back, dominating social media like it never left. The moment I walked in there, I saw his face. I saw how old he was. I saw time. I said, something said, be quiet. People are arguing, pulling up clips, photos, timelines, treating this rumor like a full-on true crime investigation. Now, let's be clear. Kelly Rowland has never said anything reckless. She's always been loyal, respectful, and classy. She never added fuel to the fire. But recently, when she finally decided to address the rumor directly, everything froze. Not because of what she said, but because of what she didn't say. And that silence, that hesitation, it's in the entire internet into detective mode. Sink a little, but you don't ever sink for anybody. You stand straight. You put your head and face forward, and you know exactly what you bring to the table. Because when you do, because if this was just random, ridiculous gossip, why does it keep resurfacing every single year? Why hasn't it faded like every other fake celebrity rumor? Instead, every time Jay-Z and Kelly are seen in the same room together, every time Titan's name trends, every time someone digs up an old Destiny's Child interview, I think it's because he loves me. And also when he does it, I think it's like trying to get my attention. Boom. The comparisons start flying again. Fans start lighting up old photos side by side, analyzing facial features, matching mannerisms, and zoom again like they're CSI techs. TikTok edits appear overnight. Reddit threads go viral. So I'm having a moment this morning because my son just walks up to me, and why is he this tall? It's a whole new investigation every time. And here's where things get downright juicy. For years, people have claimed that Titan looks way too much like Jay-Z. The nose, the jawline, the smirk, even the way he carries himself. Fans swear the similarities are undeniable. Some fans online are even saying Titan looks more like Jay-Z than Jay's own kids. And whether that's wild, disrespectful, or just delusion, it shows how big this rumor has become. It's grown legs, arms, and whole personality of its own. And now that Kelly finally broke her silence, people are convinced there's something deeper hiding under the surface. But to understand how this rumor turned into a full-blown urban legend, you've got to rewind. Because the relationship between Kelly Rowland and the Knowles family wasn't just close, it was family-level close. Kelly wasn't just Beyonce's best friend. She wasn't some industry acquaintance. She was practically raised by the Knowles household. Kelly was born in Atlanta, but everything changed when her mom moved her to Houston. That's where she met Beyonce. And from the moment the two girls crossed paths, it was like destiny locked in. Their bond was instant, real, and deep. They weren't just friends in a girl group. They were sisters who just so happened to meet outside of blood. And it went even further. Kelly didn't just hang out at Beyonce's house. She lived there. Tina Knowles didn't treat her like a guest. She took her in like her own child. She said it herself in interviews. She helped raise Kelly, fed her, guided her, protected her, not because of music or fame, but because she loved her. That's not friendship, that's family. Kelly wasn't an outsider looking in. She was in rehearsals, in the studio, at family dinners, inside the inner circle in a way almost nobody else ever was. The Knowles home wasn't Beyonce's home. It became her home too. Kelly didn't just watch Beyonce rise. She was right there climbing with her from the very beginning. She was singing her heart out, rehearsing late nights, and chasing the same dream. By the time she joined the earliest version of Destiny's Child, back when they were still girls' time, it was obvious she was built for the stage. Kelly hit big stages early, even performing on Star Search as a kid. They didn't win, and the group went through setbacks, breakups, and rebreaths. But that loss became the foundation for everything. Once Matthew Knowles stepped in as manager, the girls' entire path shifted. They got a deal. They got on the studio. And soon, Destiny's Child exploded with their breakout hit, No, No, No. From there, it was domination. Billboard charts, award shows, commercials, world tours. Destiny's Child owned the late 90s and early 2000s. But even with all that success, one thing was impossible to miss. Beyonce was always pushed as the star. The label preferred her, the media spotlight followed her, and fans could feel it. Kelly wasn't ignored, but she was clearly positioned as the second lead, and that label stuck hard. Years later, Kelly admitted the truth in her emotional track, Dirty Laundry. She battled jealousy, pain, and the weight of constantly standing in Beyonce's shadow. That wasn't just an ego bruise. That was a lifetime friendship being reshaped by fame, pressure, and quite insecurities. And here's where things tie back to the Jay-Z rumor. Once you understand how deeply Kelly was woven into the Knowles family, how she was raised alongside Beyonce, how she lived under the same roof, how she was part of their inner circle, it makes people pause and ask the question no one in the industry wants to touch. What really happened behind those closed doors? Because Kelly wasn't just a bandmate. She wasn't just Beyonce's friend. She was family. Kelly wasn't just close to the Knowles family, she lived with them. So when Jay-Z came into Beyonce's life, Kelly and Jay didn't become friends. They became family adjacent. Holidays, birthdays, tour parties, private dinners, they were around each other constantly for years. And that's exactly why this rumor refuses to die. When two people share that much space, that much history, the internet is never going to let it go. Things got even messier after the Harder They Fall premiere. Jay-Z walked the red carpet, cool and unbothered, until he noticed Kelly standing a few feet away. In a split second, his entire energy changed. His face lit up. He stretched out his arms, smiling like he hadn't seen her in years. Total switch. Shady? Not necessarily. But for a man as controlled and calculated in public as Jay-Z, that reaction raised eyebrows everywhere. Fans caught it instantly. Comment sections lit up. People were like, why did he light up like that? And the thing is, this wasn't a one-off moment. Over the years, Jay-Z and Kelly have always had a certain warmth between them. Nothing inappropriate, but noticeably comfortable. The smiles, the easy conversations, the chemistry that people can't stop dissecting because once you see it, it's hard to unsee. And this is exactly why the whispers online started getting louder and way bolder. Before long, people were saying the unthinkable, that maybe, just maybe, Kelly's son Titan isn't just her husband's child. Now, let's be real, Titan is adorable. He's got Kelly's glow, that bright smile, that magnetic charm. But fans swear they see Jay-Z in his features too, especially the nose and that signature Jay-Z grin. And once the internet thinks it sees something, it does not let go. People have been making side-by-side comparisons for years. Titan next to Jay-Z, Titan next to Blue Ivy, even Titan next to baby pictures of Dre. And honestly, the resemblance has fans shook. Some are convinced Titan looks more like Jay-Z than Jay-Z's own kids. Wild claim? Absolutely. But once social media grabs a theory, it spreads like a wildfire with unlimited oxygen. Every new photo of Titan, every public moment with Kelly, every rare Jay-Z interaction, it all keeps the rumor burning instead of dying out. But here's a massive part of why this rumor won't fade. Kelly's husband, Weatherspoon, He's one of the most low-key celebrity husbands ever. No interviews, barely any red carpet appearances, hardly any public photos with Titan. That silence, that privacy, the internet treats it like evidence. Fans claim they don't see a strong resemblance between Tim and Titan. And boom, the speculation kicks back up. And then there's Jay-Z, who has quietly been there for Kelly during some of the toughest moments in her life. Not in flashy public ways, but behind the scenes. When she lost her mother, when she reconnected with her estranged father, and during difficult transitions in her career. And of course, fans clogged all that closeness and started connecting dots. Dots that might not even exist. But when Jay-Z is involved, people love to assume there's always more to the story. But let's keep it real for a second. Sometimes kids just look like other people. Genetics can be wild, and coincidences happen. It doesn't automatically mean there's a secret affair or a hidden scandal. Still, this rumor didn't come out of nowhere because Jay-Z's name has been dragged into paternity drama before. Enter Rhymir, a man from New Jersey who spent over a decade claiming Jay-Z is his father. And here's the twist. He doesn't act like someone chasing clout. He acts like someone trying to get answers. And this is where everything starts getting messy. Rhymir has been fighting for years just to get a DNA test. One simple test. But Jay-Z's legal team, they've been working overtime to shut it down at every turn. Not ignoring it, actively blocking it. Legal loopholes, motions, delays, technicalities, anything to avoid that swap. At one point, Jay-Z's lawyers even argued that a New Jersey court had no authority to make him take a paternity test. Instead of clearing his name, they kept burying the case in paperwork. More than 10 years of filings and still zero closure. Meanwhile, Rhymir refused to back down. His godmother, Dr. Lily Coley, stepped in to help, keeping the case alive. They even filed new suits claiming the entire system was rigged in Jay-Z's favor, that the judges were biased, and that somebody powerful was pulling strings behind the scenes.
Everything's sealed tight. Whether Rhyme is truly Jay-Z's son or not, nobody knows for sure. But the fact that this case has dragged on for more than a decade without a single clear answer has everyone side-eyeing the situation. And when fans compare that to the Kelly Rowland rumor, suddenly a pattern starts to appear. Jay avoiding a paternity test isn't a one-off situation. People have seen this exact playbook before. So when folks look at Titan, hear the whispers, and remember the Rhymir case, this wild rumor starts feeling a little too believable. And that brings us back to Kelly. Years ago, she dropped the emotional bombshell, Dirty Laundry, a song that shook the entire industry. On the surface, it was about an abusive relationship and losing herself completely, physically, emotionally, mentally. But as fans listened closer, they heard deeper layers hiding in her words. One line hit like a punch to the chest. Telly admitted she felt jealous of Beyonce's success, not because she hated her, but because she was broken inside. She wanted to celebrate her sister, but she was drowning in pain she couldn't speak about. That raw confession cracked the polished Destiny's Child image wide open. Suddenly, the world saw the real Kelly, a woman suffering in silence, masking deep emotional scars while standing next to one of the biggest stars on the planet. And once people realized Kelly had been carrying invisible pain for years, the rumors about secret relationships, buried drama, and unspoken truths didn't feel so far-fetched anymore. That one confession changed everything and made people wonder what else Kelly had been carrying all these years. What other truth she buried behind the polished smile and perfect interviews. And some fans took it even further, believing Dirty Laundry wasn't just about an abusive relationship, but maybe about a deeper secret she could never bring herself to say out loud. And here's where things got emotional. Kelly later revealed that every time she tried to record that song, she broke down in tears. Not little sniffles, full breakdowns. She couldn't get through the verses without crying. It took days to finish the track because she kept stopping, shaking, trying again, and falling apart all over. That's not performance. That's not technique. That's pain. Real pain. The kind you carry for years. The kind you hide even from the people closest to you. That kind of emotional collapse only happens when a song is hitting something bigger than the lyric sheet. Something personal, something heavy, maybe even something forbidden. So of course, fans started connecting dots again. What if Dirty Laundry wasn't only about abuse? What if some of that heartbreak came from something deeper, something unspoken? Maybe a forbidden relationship, maybe a betrayal, maybe a situation she could never reveal without tearing apart everything around her. For years, people have believed the song was Kelly's way of finally letting the truth leak out, without naming names, without pointing fingers, without blowing up an entire empire. But what has Kelly actually said? Nothing. She's never confirmed a thing, but she's never denied it either. And that silence, that quiet space between truth and rumor is exactly why this story refuses to die. Fans swear silence speaks louder than words, and Kelly's silence, it's got people talking louder than ever. When Kelly talks about her family, she's always glowing, especially about her husband, Tim Weatherspoon. She phrases him like he walks on water. "My son has the best father in the world," she once said. And on paper, that should have ended the rumor instantly. Case closed, Tim's the dad, end of discussion. But of course, the internet never works that way. Fans notice something. Whenever the Jay-Z rumor pops up, Kelly never actually addresses it. She doesn't debunk it. She doesn't say, "Stop the nonsense." She doesn't shut it down. She just laughs, dodges, or pivots the conversation somewhere else. And for a lot of people, that silence feels loud. Yes, Kelly has every right to keep her private life private. She doesn't owe anyone explanations. But when a rumor this big gets met with soft smiles and quick subject changes, people start reading between the lines. So the question that keeps echoing online is this: is Kelly staying silent to protect her family, to avoid reopening old drama, or because there might be just enough truth in the rumor that she doesn't want to touch it at all? Her praise for Tim might be 100% real, and honestly, it probably is, but the silence around everything else, that's what keeps his rumor alive. But when Kelly keeps dodging the rumor entirely, people can't help but notice. In a world where one tweet could shut the whole thing down instantly, her silence feels intentional. And knowing how private Kelly is, how carefully she protects her peace, her brand, and her family, it makes sense she wouldn't touch something this messy. But that silence, it leaves the door open just enough for the internet to keep digging. So fans keep asking, is this whole thing just wild internet fan fiction, a rumor gone completely off the rails? Maybe people are just overanalyzing Titan's map, or Jay-Z's reaction on that red carpet. Maybe Kelly is just a loyal friend, nothing more. Or maybe there's a tiny piece of truth hiding under all that polished PR quiet. Maybe we'll never know. But that's never stopped the internet from connecting dots every time Kelly and Jay-Z appear in the same frame. So what do you think? Is this pure online chaos, or is there a secret hiding in plain sight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this video with your crew, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive celebrity stories. See you in the next one.